sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been coming to my channel. Like this video, share this video, and hit that notification bell so you guys know when I drop my next one. The last week has been literally career changing, life changing, reputation changing, and probably more than likely financial changing for Shannon Sharpe, as he is being accused from his very young um, um, partner that he partners with to get down with. She's accused him of many things, including the R word, SA, etc. We're going to break down his lawsuit. I now have a copy of the lawsuit for $50 million. I am not here to share my opinion. However, you're free to make your own in the comments below, respectfully. We're going to get straight into this document. And again, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And let's go. The first page is just the lawyers' names, addresses, emails, etc., which is typical. Also noted, the Busby Law Firm, their address, phone number, email, etc. I just wanted to make sure you guys have that information. Again, this is the lawsuit. And then they are the attorneys for plaintiff Jane Doe. Let me scroll back up here in case you guys missed any of that. Feel free to freeze it right here, pause it, whatever you need to do. And then we're just going to get straight down into this. This is in the 8th Judicial District Court of the United States of Nevada, in and for the county of Clark. Clark County, I believe, is Las Vegas, and the district is Department 11. That's the case number. All right, so if Clark County is not Las Vegas, leave it in the comments, but I do believe that Clark County is Las Vegas area. So this is Jane Doe, an individual plaintiff, versus Shannon Sharpe, an individual defendant. The case number, department number, again, is up on the first page, and this is an original complaint, and jury is demanded. And before we get into the complaint, because of the nature of this complaint, a lot of it will have to be coded for YouTube. So please forgive me if I code. You'll just have to read along if you want to understand what I'm actually trying to say. Because again, this has to be coded for YouTube. Let's get straight into it. Plaintiff Jane Doe complains of defendant Shannon Sharpe, and for cause of action would respectfully show this honorable court the following. Section 1, Introduction. A woman can say yes to consensual adult relationships with a man 99 times, but when she says no even once, that no means no. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely failed to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatened to put his hands on her and other paws, Shannon Sharpe refused to answer the answer no, an R-worded plaintiff, despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. Defendant Shannon Sharpe is a 56-year-old former NFL superstar. He claims to be one of the most successful sports media personalities in the country. Plaintiff is a young woman in her early 20s. In 2023, plaintiff was working out at a gym in Los Angeles when Shannon Sharpe approached her for the first time. Previously, Jane Doe had noticed Shannon Sharpe watching her during her workouts. At this time, Jane Doe was just 19 years old. I'm going to just reread that again. At this time, Jane Doe was 19 years old. At the same time, she did not know who he was. only that he was another older man oogling her at the gym. Jane Doe could tell Shannon Sharpe was much older than her. She found him physically intimidating. Eventually, he introduced himself. At his determined insistence, she gave him her phone number. Over the next couple weeks, Shannon Sharpe incestuously pursued plaintiff. He constantly approached her at the gym and attempted to contact her frequently with phone calls and text messages asking to meet up. Unwilling to take no for an answer, eventually plaintiff gave in and agreed to meet with Shannon Sharpe outside of the gym. However, before doing so, Shannon Sharpe demanded that Jane Doe sign a non-disclosure agreement or an NDA. Something plaintiff found a bit concerning. She wondered why Shannon Sharpe was so insistent on her signing an NDA. She refused. Despite his repeated efforts to get her to sign, she refused time and time again. Eventually, he dropped the issue and invited her to his house. What followed was the beginning of a rocky, consensual adult relationship that lasted nearly 2 years. The relationship was very unequal. Shannon Sharpe is more than 30 years older, is considerably wealthier, is physically much larger, and exponentially stronger. Shannon Sharpe is famous and has power. Plaintiff and Shannon Sharpe saw each other on his terms and on his schedule as often as 4 times a week. Over time, plaintiff began to see Sharpe's true nature. She found him to be dishonest about his whereabouts. He would lie about seeing other women while insisting to her that she and he were exclusive. He often manipulated her, at times being sweet and loving to get what he wanted, and at other times being angry and aggressive to achieve his goals. She discovered over time that Shannon Sharpe was extremely emotional and possessed an uncontrollable temper. He displayed the characteristics of a true narcissist. He wielded his power, his influence, and his celebrity to control plaintiff and get exactly what he wanted, whenever he wanted it, all the while jealously guarding what he considered his for himself. By October 2024, Sharpe's behavior had grown progressively worse, beyond anything plaintiff experienced with him before. At this point, he was insistent upon recording their adult activities, sometimes without her knowledge. Shannon Sharpe was also sharing the videos with others, without her permission or knowledge. Shannon Sharpe would repeatedly tell Jane Doe that he wanted to do to her things that would make no other man want her. By this point, Shannon Sharpe was no longer able to credibly maintain that the relationship was exclusive. He had at this point accidentally or purposely to advance his career went live on Instagram while having adult relations with another woman. I'm going to pause right there. I'm going to say this. That situation did go viral. However, because of the nature of the video that was accidentally leaked, I did not want my YouTube channel to be struck and chose not to put it on here or even comment on the situation because of the adult nature with the audio, with what was definitely going on in that video. I definitely did not want to put that on my channel. A lot of other people did do videos about that specific Instagram incident in which he was having adult relationships with a woman. And it seemed like the cell phone was like on the floor. But you can definitely tell what was going on in that video. However, I chose not to even discuss that story directly on my channel. Let's continue. Shannon Sharpe flew into fits of rage when plaintiff noticed his infidelity to their relationship or called him out about his extraneous activities. What had once been manipulation, control, and intimidation now became something far more dangerous and sinister. Sharpe even figured out how to get into Jane Doe's apartment complex without her permission. Shannon Sharpe made it clear that what Doe wanted was of no moment, that Sharpe would get what he wanted when he wanted it in October 2024. Shannon Sharpe SA'd her from front and back, R-wording plaintiff 2 different times in Las Vegas, Nevada, blatantly ignoring her requests for him to stop. He did it again in January. I am going to pause part 1 of reading 50 Shades of Chaos, Shannon Sharpe's lawsuits. We're going to come back shortly with part 2. I definitely want to know what you guys think in the comments below. As we read this lawsuit, share your opinion respectfully. Until next time, be safe and enjoy your day. Bye, guys.